The Saturday morning sun felt different for Mark. It wasn't just the light. It was the blue and yellow receipt sitting on his nightstand like a winning lottery ticket. True to his word, he didn't wait until Friday. He called at noon, and by 7 p.m., he was standing at Sarah's door with a brown paper bag that smelled faintly of salt and sugar. "I come bearing gifts," he said as she opened the door. He revealed a haul of Dunkaroos, a box of Cosmic Brownies, and 2 Surge sodas. "The health inspector would hate us, but the 9-year-old versions of us are cheering." Sarah laughed, stepping aside to let him in. "You remembered the Cosmic Brownies! Those were my currency in middle school." "Come in. The VCR is already warmed up." Her apartment was cozy, lit by the warm glow of a string of fairy lights and the standby light of her television. The centerpiece of the evening sat on the coffee table, the double feature they had negotiated over the phone. Mark had brought Speed, his peace offering, and Sarah had selected While You Were Sleeping. "Okay, ground rules," Sarah said, tucking her feet under a thick knit blanket as the opening credits of the first movie rolled. "No talking during the pivotal scenes, and absolutely no spoilers, even if I've seen it 40 times. "Deal," Mark whispered, settling in beside her. "But I get to ask one question. Why is Sandra Bullock the queen of the 90s? "Because she's relatable cool," Sarah whispered back. "She's the girl who saves the guy but forgets where she put her keys." As the tape whirred, that rhythmic, mechanical heartbeat of the 90s, the room shifted. The distance between them on the couch slowly evaporated. During a particularly tense scene in Speed, Sarah found herself leaning into his shoulder. Mark didn't pull away. Instead, he rested his head against hers. They didn't just watch the movies. They shared stories between the tapes. Mark talked about his dream of opening a vintage toy store. Sarah admitted she still wrote letters to her grandmother on actual stationery. They discovered they both hated the tracking lines that occasionally blurred the screen, but loved the grainy texture that made the movies feel like a memory. By the time the second movie ended, the credits were scrolling over a soft piano melody. The Be Kind Rewind sticker on the tape felt less like a chore and more like a metaphor. "You know," Mark said, his voice low in the quiet apartment, "I used to think the best part of Friday was finally picking the movie. But I think the best part is actually having someone to watch the credits with." Sarah looked at him, the blue light of the TV reflected in her eyes. "The sequel is definitely better than the original," she teased. Mark leaned in, and this time there was no accidental brush of fingers or awkward apology. It was a scene that didn't need a script, a perfect the end for the night, and a to be continued for everything else.